All right, let's get right into it. If you're a real estate agent, you probably know this feeling all too well. You work hard, you hit a certain level of success, things are pretty good, and then nothing. You just get stuck. It feels like you've hit a wall and you just can't seem to push through to that next level. Well, it's super common, and today we're going to break down the real reason why this happens. So that's the big question, right? Why do so many agents who are already successful get stuck? You're doing all the things you're supposed to do. You've built a solid business, but you've hit this invisible ceiling. I'm telling you, you're not alone. But what if the answer isn't about finding some new tactic or a magic bullet? What if it's something deeper? And this is where it gets really interesting. Most agents who plateau immediately start chasing things on the outside. You know, the usual suspects, a brand new lead source, a flashier marketing plan, whatever the latest trend is on social media. But what we're learning is that the real breakthrough, the thing that separates the good from the great, comes from looking inward. It's about overcoming a few really powerful psychological barriers. So, here's our game plan. We're going to walk through the 5 key mental barriers that are most likely holding you back. We'll talk about your internal value script, that invisible production ceiling, the fear of being judged, the difference between investing and spending, and then the final piece that ties it all together: consistency. Okay, first up, your internal value script. This is huge. It's all about the story you're telling yourself, about yourself. You know that little voice in your head? It's the internal monologue that dictates your confidence and what you truly believe you're worth. So what do we really mean by that? Well, your personal value script is that inner story that fuels your confidence. And here's the absolute key. If you're even a little bit unsure about the value you bring to the table, your clients are going to feel that. They'll feel it instantly. Your confidence, or your lack of it, is totally contagious. So how do you build that real, unshakable confidence? Look, it's not about chanting affirmations in the mirror. It's about preparation, plain and simple. You have to know your market, the trends, the pricing, the inventory, inside and out better than anyone else. Because that kind of relentless preparation creates this quiet, powerful confidence that you don't even have to talk about. Your clients just feel it, and that changes the entire conversation. All right, on to barrier number 2, the invisible production ceiling. This is that number, that transaction count, or that income level that you just can't seem to get past year after year after year. Sound familiar? Think of this ceiling as your unconscious comfort zone. It's not a real limit on what you're capable of. It's just a limit on your perception. You operate inside this little box, not because you can't grow, but simply because you haven't really been exposed to what's possible beyond it. It feels normal, it feels safe, but it's keeping you stuck. So how in the world do you shatter it? It's actually simpler than you think. You have to change your environment. You've got to start spending time consistently with people who are already playing the game at the level you want to reach. When you're around that all the time, your entire perception of what's normal just totally resets. And what once felt impossible starts to feel, well, repeatable. Okay, let's talk about our next barrier. And oh man, is it a big one for a lot of people: the fear of being judged. This is the reason why so many amazing agents don't post that video, or don't make those calls, or don't just fully show up as themselves. It's that nagging fear of what other people, other agents, old friends might think or say. And this quote right here, it just says it all. I want you to really let this sink in. I've never been criticized by someone doing more than me. Think about that. The criticism almost always comes from the cheap seats, from people on the sidelines who aren't in the arena taking the risks that you are. Once you really get that, it changes everything. The trick is to completely reframe it. You've got to start seeing criticism not as a threat, but as proof that you're on the right track. Honestly, if nobody's talking about you, you're probably playing it way too safe. The moment you stop letting the opinions of others call the shots, you unlock this incredible sense of freedom and momentum. On to barrier number 4, and this one is all about your money mindset. It's about making a crucial shift from seeing business tools as costs to seeing them as investments that actually produce a return. This chart just lays it out so perfectly. An agent with an expense mindset looks at a CRM and just sees another monthly bill to pay. But an agent with an asset mindset, they see a machine for nurturing relationships. They don't see a transaction coordinator as a fee per deal. They see it as buying back their time so they can go get more deals. It's a completely different way of thinking. So it all boils down to this. You have to change the fundamental question you ask yourself. You have to stop asking, what does this cost me? And you need to start asking, what will this produce for me? That one simple shift in questioning can totally transform how you build your business. And that brings us to our final breakthrough. This is the one that ties everything else together. Because look, you can fix your value script, you can shatter your production ceiling, you can conquer your fears, but if you don't have this one last piece, none of it's going to matter. And that piece is consistency. Confidence is the spark, right? It's what gets you out of bed in the morning. It gives you the courage to take that first step. But consistency. Consistency is the engine. It's the boring, repetitive, disciplined action, day in and day out, that actually builds something that lasts. And here's the good news. Consistency doesn't have to be some crazy complicated thing. It just means talking to your database every single week. It means being visible on social media or through email every single week. It means being present in your community every single month. These simple, repeatable actions build familiarity, and familiarity builds trust. And trust, as we all know, is everything in this business. So, let's wrap it all up. Here are your 5 breakthroughs. Number 1, build real confidence through relentless preparation. 2, expand your idea of what's possible by changing your environment. 3, learn to see criticism as proof that you're in the game. 4, invest in assets, not expenses. And finally, number 5, apply all this knowledge with unwavering, relentless consistency. Getting to the next level in your business isn't about finding some shiny new object. It's about breaking through what's holding you back on the inside. So I'll leave you with this one final thought. Looking at these 5 barriers we just talked about, what is the one, just one, that you will commit to breaking through starting this week?